Hey guys, welcome back to Hope 70 Let's Talk. It has been a minute since I've been on here doing a podcast. Sorry, I know it kind of sucks, but life has been lifing, and so I've been dealing with all that. But I'm back. I'm hoping to be able to do podcasts Tuesdays and Thursdays. We'll see. Seems like every time I try to plan my schedule out, God's like, nope, I want you to do this instead. So anyway, here I am. Authentically, Uniquely You, Joyce Meyer. I'm addicted to this book. I have a bunch of other books I promise I'll start reading soon, but right now I'm just addicted to this one. I'm reading from page 100, and it's called Addicted to Approval. And it reads, an addiction is something that controls people. Something they feel they cannot do without, or something they do to alleviate pain or pressure. It comes in many forms. People can be addicted to drugs, alcohol, gambling, sex, shopping, eating, work, and yes, even approval. I'm addicted to photography and God. Anywho, like all addicts, insecure people look for a fix when they get unhappy. They need someone to reaffirm them and assure them that everything is all right. Being in a relationship with someone who is extremely insecure can be very exhausting because of how needy they are. We have compassion for these people and want to help them, but getting an approval fix each time they feel insecure will not set them free. They need to find their confidence and security in God. I know this because I was once this way, and it exhausted my husband. He felt that no matter what he did, I was never happy. The good news is that people who are addicted to approval don't have to suffer with insecurity. There is a cure for approval addicts. The Word of God says we can be secure through Jesus Christ, rooted and established in His love, which is Ephesians 3:17. This means we are free to be ourselves and become all we can be with Him. I wasted many years on my life addicted to approval. It began during my early childhood years in my relationship with my father. He was an angry man who never seemed to approve of anyone or anything, but I was so afraid of his anger that I tried to always do what I thought would meet his approval somehow. My fear of him only grew as he began to abuse me sexually, not only forcing me to do things that I hated, but also forcing me to keep them a secret. My mother always tried to please him too, because she was also afraid of him. No one confronted him about anything. I don't ever remember feeling relaxed or safe around my father. Of course, I carried the emotional habits of people pleasing and seeking approval into my adult life. Anytime I thought the important people in my life didn't approve of what I was doing, saying, wearing, or planning, I quickly changed so they would think well of me. I craved approval above all else, just as drug addicts crave their drugs. If I met with disapproval, I was totally miserable, anxious, and worried until I was sure I had fixed the situation. I will forever be thankful that God taught me that my job was to please Him and only Him, and that doing so, I would be pleased. There are many times when there's many times when God led me to do what another person wants me to do, even though I might not be thrilled about it. But when I know I am pleasing God in doing it, I can do it with joy. We are not to be selfish and should try to please people in healthy, balanced ways, but not be so addicted to pleasing others we disobey God in the process. I am sure you know what I'm talking about. Even if you're not addicted to approval, my guess is that you get a new haircut that is a little bit more out of the norm for you. You don't feel quite comfortable about it until someone else compliments you or gives you a nod of approval. If you wear a new dress and ask a friend how she likes it, what do you do if she says, I think it makes you look a little larger than you really are? Do you never wear it again, or do you go ahead and wear it because you like it? I admit that when It happens to me. Sometimes I have to force myself to keep wearing it because it's something that I refuse to give up or give into to the approval of addiction from which God has got sent me for free. If 10 people expressed the same opinion about it, I probably wouldn't wear it again. But the opinion of one person is just that, one person's opinion, which isn't any better than yours. Or which isn't any better than yours is. Different people like different styles, and they should be free to enjoy wearing the style they like and feel comfortable in, except when they need to follow a particular dress code for a job or a special occasion. I rarely wear jeans because I'm not comfortable in them. I prefer softer material. However, a lot of people try to get me to wear jeans more often, telling me how good they look on me, that they are in style, that everyone else wears them, and so on. But I don't want to wear them. I usually don't, and if I find a pair that's really comfortable, I will wear them occasionally, but even then, they are just not my go-to pants. It is interesting how often people try to get you to like what they like and cannot understand why you don't like it. The reason is that you are a unique individual and are free to follow your desires without apologizing for them. I think this is massive because growing up, I definitely was addicted to approval. But I mean, I guess even so now, I'm still kind of addicted to approval, just not as addicted as I used to be, if that makes sense. For me, I definitely want to have approval. Like if I, with my photos, with my podcast, with my clothing company, with, my parenting style, with me being a wife, anything, any aspect of life, I always, of course, like people to say, oh my God, you're doing a great job. I'm proud of you. I love it. Let me share it. Can I have some? Blah, 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 blah. And that's great because it definitely helps your ego and it definitely helps boost your confidence as well. However, at the end of the day, especially when it comes to your personal self, the only approval you need is God's and your own. So keep that in the back of your head. Getting approval from others is always phenomenal. It's definitely a confidence booster. But it's not everything. God is. Thanks for tuning in. Hope 70 Let's Talk. Love y'all. Mwah.